Hello, so we're going to be talking about Vedic astrology and some of the feminine and masculine things that you can calculate so you have a better understanding where your chart is more balancing or where it's more weighted onto. So let's get started. Hi, if you don't know who I am, I'm Sindy V King. I'm a creator of Calling My King. I help transform women to create lasting love through Vedic astrology, neuroscience, and transactional analysis so that she becomes the queen of love. And we'll specifically be talking about feminine and masculine energy. And here's a few things that you want to know based on your chart if you're more balanced or you're outweighted, especially when it comes to a romantic relationship. You want to make sure you have the yin and the yang, that is actually balancing. There's a wonderful book called The Yin and the Yang of Life. I'm not sponsoring this whatsoever, but there's definitely a link down below if you're interested in learning about the concept. I have made videos in the past about masculine and feminine qualities, so feel free to binge watch those videos first. So let's specifically look at some of the stuff that you have in your chart here. We have noticed that the North Node and the South Node is not account for it. We're not going to account for asteroids as well. I do Vedic astrology, which is a tropical and whole signs houses. So sometimes we do use outer planets, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to use it. So go ahead, and if you have your chart up, that's great. If you don't have it, there's so many software out there that is available and it's free. But if you want a little bit more of a deep dive about your romantic relationship, I'm more than happy to do so in the membership. So that's a little bit more for disclosure. If you are going to put any of your birth information and whatever that you're going to provide, I won't be able to respond to that. I think that's something that we should discuss personally. So my membership is for that as well. If my calendar is open and available, I'm happy to offer some scheduled readings as well. Let's go ahead and pull up your chart. So let's see if what's really important here. We want to know your lagna. If your lagna is really important to understand how you come out in this world, and what's your first impressions are, and how's your life path is going to look like as well. So your lagna is very important, which is your ascendant. As well, another important planet that you want to look is your sun sign. Where is your sun sign is sitting on? Is it sitting on the right side of the chart or the left side? Is it above the horizon? So is it above like 12 o'clock, or is it below after like lunch, or it's like at nighttime? So you want to know where that is. Your sun is what your goal is. So I don't do sun sign astrology here. It's not really what I have been taught how to do. And the whole concept of sun sign astrology wouldn't make any sense in general to able to tell you what you're like. Another component is your moon sign. Your moon sign is how you make your decision and how you feel about certain situation. How you make decision, your psychology, that's what it really is. And where your moon is sitting, is it ideally you want to be sitting at nighttime, because that's where the moon likes to sit a little bit nicer at nighttime, and your sun sign likes to sit above the sunrise, right? So that is really nice and beautiful. So let's talk about the feminine signs, and some of them I would say is considered to be a neuter planet, so it's either or kind of concept. So the feminine signs tend to be earth signs and water signs. So water signs are like Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and then earth signs are like Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgos. Those are the earth sign, and the masculine signs are fire signs are Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And then when we look at air signs tends to be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So those are considered to be what I consider to be a neuter. So that's either or. It could be Pisces, or as well as Gemini. I consider them to be a neuter planets. And as well, sometimes Aquarius as well. The strength and the balance between the charts. So what do you weigh more onto? And you can also do it with other planets like Jupiter and Mars. So if you're looking at Mars, ideally Mars need to be sitting in a masculine sign. So that's either fire or an air sign. And how I know if it's masculine or feminine, what I start off with Aries, as Aries is number one there, and it has to do with masculine. The second sign is Taurus, which is considered to be a feminine. And then again, it goes rotating to Gemini, and that is a masculine. So you kind of go around the clock that way so that you have a better understanding of like masculine, positive. Or you can, if you don't like the masculine, feminine, you can do positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and that's totally fine. And we can say like positive is considered to be taking action. Negative is all about being passive. So you want to balance between the two worlds in this. However, because if I'm doing Vedic astrology and we're doing practically based on degrees, that is a huge difference. So it's considered to be nakshatra. It's based on these archetypes. And another big point is your moon sign. Your moon sign is the most important thing when it comes to relationship compatibility. We call it the yoni. And I made a video about yoni compatibility and matching and stuff as well. So I want you to watch that video so you understand how to balance these energy. When we talk about masculine energy, that's more an active energy. So that's called yang. And then feminine energy has to do with yin, and that's more passive. And when we look at these two components and two ideas and two concepts, we want to have it equally as balanced with our partner as well. There's a reason why if your Mars is actually in a feminine energy, you're going to look for a partner that's completely opposite of that at times as well. I also made a video on that about relationship compatibility when it comes to the moon component. Our moon is so important. I know there's some disclaimers stating that if your moon is not in a healthy condition, in a sense, there's a lot of malefic around it or looking at it or with it, it could be causing problems in the relationship because you feel mentally out of balance to start off with. And not only that, your goddess of Venus is going to either help you in the situation or she can't help you. And Jupiter is there to either help you in the situation again or not help you, but it never denial. So that means that even though it's in a direct strength, the situation was bad, but it was able to overcome it. So that's a big difference from charts. I just don't want to say like a negative component that, there is no such thing as negative things. I think negative situation at times and situation, there is always an outcome or an advocate that you can become. So there is a silver lining. So I don't want to say that negative situation is always bad. I think there's always a silver lining. How bad it is and whatever it was, it gives you the second chance of life and actually wanting to appreciate life and cherish those moments. I think a lot of people don't see that component of like if the situation is negative, it's never a bad thing. It's obviously burning some sort of lessons that you might need to learn and need to process. And it's so important to have us as a human growth. If we didn't have that, life would be really boring and stagnated. And I think it's a great place if you keep your head in a placement like this is a negative situation and I'm going through a difficult time. So acknowledging those feelings, but I think I can make this go through. One biggest thing that I have noticed, anything in charts wise, is about your diet and your sleeping pattern. So if you want to overcome anything negative within your chart, your diet needs to be on point. And when I say diet, I'm not talking about culture diet. I'm talking about your body. And I think a Vedic astrologer, you need to find somebody that can really specifically talk about this area about like health wise and your sleeping habits as well and your mental state. especially if you're looking at anything between the 6th, 8th, and 12th house. And sometime 11 and the first house will give you a good indication how healthy you can be and what could you improve. So if you're not asking a Vedic astrologer or an astrologer, how can I prevent the situation in my life or some of the karmic lesson that could be coming? Again, I want to stress that my membership is there and I am able to answer some of these questions and look at some of your chart, one-on-one consultation at a time. But I also like learning about other people's experience and sharing those knowledge as well. So let me know what your experience is when it comes to deal with masculine and feminine. We know that masculine tends to overburn some of these energy quite a bit, and feminine doesn't take enough action sometimes if it's needing some goals to complete. So you can always see pros and cons, and I know I'm kind of contradicting the two, but again, we want to be in a balanced position. And to help with your chart, masculine energy needs to be happening during the sunrise and sunset, right? After the sunset, you want to be able to tap into your feminine energy and rest and recover so that you can start the day wisely. Your eating habit is going to take a big toll and a big component in the success that you have in your life and the longevity. I'm big on longevity, and I'm big on having deep roots of what is going on, how can I resolve it, how can I make the situation better, and how can I prevent it as well. So you want to go through a situation where you can manage the difficult times, ideally. So that being said, I want to conclude my video. If you have any further questions, I'm happy to answer them in the comment below, especially when it comes to masculine and feminine. You can see the actually scoring as well in there. In my membership, I also do a Q&A regarding about masculine and feminine energy. I'm more than happy to continue on that series. So that being said, if there's a will, there's a way, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye now. Look, if you're serious about being fearless in love and ready to be treated like a queen, links is down below to book a time. I got over 100 videos on YouTube and I post new videos every week. So make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button. You get notified when new videos goes live. If your friend is actually stuck in love, share and like my video. I do take requests on topics and answer your burning question about your relationship. So just leave a comment down below. Otherwise, see you in the next video.